we got here a Kirby tier list of all the copy abilities in Kirby's Return to Dreamland. I think I got all of them. These are all just pictures I took. But start off, number 1, Mecha. I don't really need to say much because Mecha, side you spam. You have the dumpling mines. You have electricity for solving puzzles. You have fire for solving puzzles. Straight up the most broken ability in the entire game. No question. It's just above all of these. Kirby himself. No abilities. Nothing. A D tier. Because he only eats and he doesn't even do that much damage. Against bosses it's a pain. Against bosses it's a pain because you don't have the stars always readily available, so you just end up just waiting for them to do something. Maybe some slide attacks every once in a while, but they don't really do anything. And Parasol, higher than normal Kirby, still trash. Fall slow, doesn't really do much. I mean, I guess that protects. Maybe it's a low C. It doesn't really do much. It's kind of underwhelming. You just flat people with the umbrella. And I guess the umbrella does damage, but it doesn't even feel like it does much most of the time. It's cute though. It's cute though. Some points were cute. The beam attack ability itself. B. You can solve puzzles and it's got electricity. Problem is that most of your movement gets cut. There's a jumping spread, the rain one, where you just spread a bunch of beams around, but other than that, this is kind of a mad ability. You slow down. It only gets points because you can use it to solve puzzles, hit through walls. It's got electricity, and you have the infinite circle, which keeps you in the air. But other than that, it's kind of meh. Mic ability is a high B, I think here, because you're gonna be getting all 3. They do immense damage. It's better than something like Festival or Crash, primarily because it just does so much damage. And it's just number 3 is a screen clear, and the first 2 are basically screen clears. You just gotta look in the general direction, align yourself accordingly, and that's it. Problem is why it's not up here is because you do not have it consistently, and that's all. Festival, I think, is here, because Festival is cute and I really like the design and all that, but it is a single-use screen clear, and that is it. I really don't have Crash. Okay, so Crash, here we go, throw it in here. It's kind of trash. It's in the same boat as Festival. It is, although it does, I think it does more damage than Festival, but it's a lot less rare, a lot less common. You're not gonna find it as much, and you're really just gonna use that on one boss. But then the time it takes to get to that boss, it's not even good for the arena. And yeah, these 2 are basically just the same. There's just one Kirby does a little funny dance. Bomb. Honestly, I think Ball's an A tier. Bomb is got the range, it's got the weird grab thing where you just sticks a bomb on him and then you can just run. It blows up. Actually does a pretty good amount of damage. I like Bomb. I think Bomb's A tier. It's just overall a good one, and you can use it to solve puzzles, and just it's super satisfying to just drop bombs down. I think it is S tier. Why? Because you got the close range, which is super cool. You got range, you got charge, you can solve puzzles from range and do certain puzzles that other abilities cannot. Or you can do them with the same way as you can with Cutter. Overall, super satisfying one to use, and a super effective one to use at that. And the only problem is that it doesn't solve fire puzzles or spark puzzles, but it's fine. Unlike this one, Fire, which I think is just an A tier. Actually, no, it goes up here, because Bomb has more range. But Fire, though, gets some points because it solves puzzles, and you can do the cannon thing. The problem is Mecha exists, so you don't really need Fire as much. but it's still a good one. It's super fun, and because of down B. But you also have side B, which is completely invincible and can help solve even more of other clever puzzles that the devs have put in. Alright, next ability, we got Fada. I think Fada's A, honestly. It's got a fire move, I believe, and it's got a lot of close range stuff and some range. I think it's a generally pretty good solid weapon, ability. The problem is that it generally does not have that much range. It can close range, but against bosses I feel like it's kind of weaker. So I'll just throw it up here. These are solid. These are good. Hammer, I think, goes up here. Hammer, invincible, side B, and hammer flip is super fun and is on fire. The problem with this one, and I didn't mention with fire, is that these two are somewhat rare, except hammer is more common because of bonkers, but fighter doesn't have that. So L the fighter. You're gonna stay right here. How many people actually use fighter? Let me know down in the comments. Which ability do you use most, and which ability is your favorite? And I'm pretty sure very few of you are gonna say fighter. High jump, worst ability in the game, worse than Kirby. Just worse than Kirby. Hold on. Next up we have Tornado. I see. I think it has more use than Parasol, because you can move around a lot and you have invincibility, so you like go in and hit a boss. And you think this thing would be good for speedrunning. I don't think this is good for speedrunning because it has a tendency to just be at that one part where you can't use it, to just run out when you need it. I think it's better than Parasol though, because you can go up and down easier, and then it's just honestly, actually. You know what, I think Parasol's better than it. Because Parasol has the hitbox on the umbrella. Tornado doesn't have that. Tornado just has invincibility. So it's not consistent and kind of fails. Ice. Honestly, I think Ice is kinda... I think Ice kinda trash. I think it's better than... I think it's better than Parasol. But I don't think it's B tier, because Ice freezes and you can slide, but against bosses it doesn't really, it's not super effective against bosses. And then the slide is very slippery with Kirby and kinda weird and wonky. I mean, you can use it to solve some puzzles, but not as many as you want, which most of the puzzles you can just do with water. And I think water is here. I think water's here because water has range, but it also can solve pretty much all the same puzzles Ice can, and the same from it, and it's easier to control and easier for newcomers. And it's just interesting to see Kirby spewing water instead of Ice. But yeah, I honestly think water's just a better version of Ice. Needle Kirby. I have no idea. I think it's here, honestly. You stop moving, you can jump and then keep moving though, that's the thing. I honestly do not know where to put Needle, so I'm just gonna stick it here for now. Because we have Beam, which has range that can solve puzzles. I mean, oh wait. We have Beam that can range and solve puzzles. Okay, you go over here. But Needle, some momentum, does not solve puzzles very well. A lot of things that Needle can do, Mecha can do. A lot of things Needle can do, just Beam can do. A lot of things Needle can do, Hammer can do. Hammer can do it, Cutter can do it. And if you need something to be done with Needle, just there's all these things can do it too. I don't even think it cuts. I mean, it's cool that you can stick to walls, but I don't even think it can cut. So that's just sad for Needle. But it's a cool ability. I like it. It's interesting, but I think it's kind of meh. Leaf is garbage. Like, literally high D here. Leaf. I don't even think you have invincibility when you're in a Leaf Bot. Can you become a Leaf Bot? I haven't even played Leaf in a good while. I don't remember. Leaf is basically just a worse version of Sand, which is up here. Here. Sand has the invincible sand pile. But it's also got the jump out, which does a good amount of damage. And it's got the command grab. It's got the castle. It's got the fist. It's got all these things. And then there's Leaf. And Leaf is literally just a worse version of Sand. It even looks similar too. The Sand's just better. So Spark is good. I'd say. I think it's more niche. Actually, no, not more niche. It's more less niche than Fire. It's got the electric thing and can solve a lot of puzzles. Basically, you can solve most of the same puzzles Neil can. The charge mechanic is cool, and then does a lot of damage. But it does. The problem is for me is that it does not work well against bosses. Everything else, it's fine. But bosses, big no-no. It's like we need something up here. Downplay Spark. There you go. Stone, you're up here. Because Stone has straight invincibility. And there's all the amount of Easter eggs in here is really good. It's really cool to see just how many Easter eggs they put into Stone. Spear. Yeah, I think it's better than Fire. It's like here and here. We're just gonna put it here. Sphere, you can use it in the water. That's what the thing put over here. Honestly, it might be over here. I don't know. Sphere you can use in the water. You can do a lot of things with Sphere. You can use range. The nice thing about Sphere is that you can do range without being range. So it's easy to follow up in if you do something. And it's just a really cool ability in general. And it's got a lot more aim to it than a lot of these other abilities here. The sword ability is honestly mid-tier. I think it's here because it's got the Skyward Sword thing where you can charge it up. And then it's got the, if you're at full health, you can just send out a beam. But those stuff is really, really weak. You hardly use it. You really use it for the interesting combos, that's what I can do. And then the slash into charge spin, which is cool. So, it's a solid choice all around. Maybe it's low A, but it's solid. But there's just some things that can be done with sword, that can be done with cutter. Mecha can't cut, so this is where you would use sword or cutter over it. But sword has always really just been solid, and it's got invincibility. And I don't know, I'm not gonna say anymore. Wing is trash. Here, so it's trash because it's kind of dumb. I think you can cut with it, but you hardly ever show up in the level. And why would you pick this over Mecha? Mecha is right here. Mecha's right here. It's standing right here. Why would you pick this? Yes, it's faster than Mecha, but faster kills you for it. Mecha here can kill bosses and shred them a lot easier. This wing, trash, honestly. It's not that great. I mean, other than a few niche circumstances, but it has like no range either. It's just faster. Whip is where did you put it? I think Whip's really good. I think it's in the same boat as Spear. You just can't use it underwater. But the gimmick is you can grab things through walls, which I think is cool. I think that is cool. I can do that. And this guy didn't upload here for some reason, so I put him in. We have Ninja. Ninja here is, I think it's better than Sword. I think it's better than Fire. Honestly, Sword's better than that. I think it's lower than Bone though. I think it's better than that. I'm not sure. It's like right here. It's like right here. I think it's better because it's got the stick to the walls gimmick. You can stick to walls. I'm putting Ninja here primarily because dealing with bosses sucks. You just you can't really side beam, and a lot of his moves require really darn close. I like the counter effect, but you have to get really close. So yeah, Ninja. I mean, this sticking to walls is kind of cool, and you can cut things at range, which sucks for Needle, honestly. Needle's just, man. But Ninja, you can stick to walls, you can cut things, you can solve puzzles with it. I really like Ninja. Ninja's, I think, is a cool ability. Design-wise, a little questionable, but I think it's a really good ability. And yeah, that's it. And if you enjoy this type of content, feel free to like and subscribe, and I might make more Kirby things in the future. So, take care.